Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. Welcome to Extra Crispy. For today's video, we have a Bleacher Report, man. Very, let me just say, man, some hurt feelings might happen in this video. Titled, Why Your Favorite Team Won't Win the 2022-2023 NBA title, man. It's a good thing y'all got positive flakes, optimistic flakes up in here, man, because I'm going to try playing, like, devil's advocate and just kind of saying, like, maybe that reason isn't that big a deal. Now, if it's a case where it's like, oh, it's the San Antonio Spurs, I'm not going to sit here and try to defend the San Antonio Spurs for why they won't win the championship. You all know what I'm saying, so let's get going on this. If you agree or disagree with the answers, let me know in the comment section below, and let's get it, man. Yo, also hit that sub button, too, because I'm going to be reacting to so many NBA games this season. Y'all do not want to miss those highlights. Okay, Atlanta Hawks. It says, in a nutshell, the DeJounte Murray trade wasn't the Donovan Mitchell trade. So, this one I disagree with. While I will say the Hawks' success is going to come down to DeJounte and Trey being able to work together, I do think their style of play actually really do complement each other very nicely. Like, just having DeJounte and his height and his defensive presence in the backcourt with Trae Young, somebody to take pressure off him, I think could potentially be very huge, man. So, yeah, I don't think getting DeJounte Murray, instead of getting like a Donovan Mitchell, is going to hurt them that much, man. Like, seriously, I think it's going to work. I don't know. I was a little hesitant, but I think it's going to work. We got the Boston Celtics. In a nutshell, they are more combustible than last year. I mean, if you want to look at, like, the coaching situation, sure, I'll give you that. But I think if you look at the improvements this team put into their roster, yeah, there was a few cases where, you know, they lost Danilo Gallinari. Like, that's a big name that they signed. Well, not a big name, but a decent name that they signed that's not going to be playing because of his injury. But you brought in Malcolm Brogdon. Like, Malcolm Brogdon is not going to make you a more combustible team. He is really going to hold down the fort in that second unit and just give them a good, solid player, you know, to rely on if other guys get injured. You know, obviously he's injury prone too. Injuries happen to any team, but I don't think they're more combustible. I feel like any like injury concerns existed last season as well. So, yeah, I'm not concerned about the Celtics. We got the Brooklyn Nets. Face it, this team is doomed. I guess in regards of, like, what you think doomed means, do I have the Nets winning the championship? No, I don't. Am I writing them off as a team that can't shock us all and just be like, hey, remember my name? I'm Kevin Durant. Hey, remember me? I'm Kyrie. Remember me? I'm an all-star Ben Simmons. Like, that very much, like, could happen if this team comes together also. Once again, the chemistry thing. But to say they're doomed, I don't think that's the case. I feel like there were so many X factors with all three of those players. Yeah, there's some injury concerns once again, too. But, I don't know. I think the things that made the Brooklyn Nets bad to a large extent is not going to exist this upcoming season. We got the Charlotte Hornets. It says, even their annual pursuit of the 10 seed feels ambitious. Yeah, I think the Hornets are in the running for, you know, top 3 pick in the draft. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, the team's rebuilding. That's completely fine. Chicago Bulls. DeMar DeRozan can't shoot 3 trillion% in crunch time forever. I do have concerns with DeMar being able to live up to his amazing season last year. But I also don't want to, like, disregard that maybe some of the pressure will be off of his shoulders if guys like Patrick Williams can take that next step. You know, Zach LaVine's a very consistent 20-plus point per game scorer. I do like Drummond off the bench. Ayo Dosunmu, like, I think he's going to take a really next big step, you know, being the starting point guard till Lonzo's back. So, I will say, like, if the team relies heavily on DeMar, that kind of keeps him away. But if the team can actually, you know, just take a little pressure off him, everybody steps up a little bit, they'll be good to go. Cleveland Cavaliers, was now really the time for the Donovan Mitchell trade. Yes. If a player like Donovan Mitchell is available and you have to give up the assets that the Cavs had to give up to get him, you do that every single time. Every single time. There's no reason for them not to do that trade. That trade was fantastic for the Cavaliers. It shocked us all. It instantly put them as a top favorite in the Eastern Conference in all of our minds. And let's keep in mind, too, that Mitchell he's like, what, 25, 26? The Cavaliers team, like, that core is so young within itself, too. The Donovan Mitchell thing can completely flop, and they'll still have another large-ass window with this core to win a championship. The Cavs are in such a good place. Okay, we have Dallas Mavericks. Can they can't really land the right friend of Luka Doncic. I think that's fair. I was disappointed with their ability to replace Jalen Brunson. You know, when they originally had Kristaps Porzingis, wasn't a great fit. I think Christian Wood can be pretty solid for the team, but they're using him as a 6-man now. So I agree that the Mavericks could have done a better job this offseason, but I also understand, too, where maybe just they didn't want to rush into a fit. Maybe there was a player in free agency where, like, we could get him, but maybe it's not the greatest fit long term. Maybe they wait till next offseason and go for some of the other names that are entering free agency. So, yeah, you can't really knock them for saying that like they don't have the right fit if they feel as a franchise that the right fit just wasn't there in the first place. But if they're not even trying, then yes, that is definitely a case where, like, do not waste Lucas Prime. Denver Nuggets, they have a whole lot of questions and imperfections for a contender. I mean, Jokic back-to-back MVP, the way he's been able to carry the Denver Nuggets. Yes, like, at the end of the day, only one team can win the championship. So, I don't know, I feel like whenever I do videos like this, a lot of criticisms I get is like, well, they weren't able to get past so-and-so in the playoffs. It's like, yeah, that's every team except the Golden State Warriors last year. So, I don't really use that too much to an extent, unless there's, like, a big, huge pattern going on. But there isn't a pattern with the Nuggets, because Jamal's been out, Michael Porter's been out, and they're back now. So, I mean, they're good without those players. They could be great with them. I think they'll be fine. Detroit Pistons. It's still too early. F. Okay. Golden State Warriors. Draymond punched the culture into the field position. Jordan Poole just got paid. Andrew Wiggins just got paid. The only one that hasn't been paid yet is Draymond Green. Draymond is an important member of the Warriors. There comes a time where windows close. I think that, if Draymond has a problem, then the type of player he is, yeah, that's tough to replace. I think Kuminga could do pretty solid at power forward. I think he could do maybe a small ball lineup with Wiggins at the 4th needed. But I feel like some of the big important pieces, All-Star Andrew Wiggins and everything, and like I said, Jordan Poole being back is going to be huge. Just them knowing they're going to be there. So, comes down to Draymond. I got the Houston Rockets. OKC doesn't own their pick still. OKC doesn't own their pick still. What does that mean? I mean, I'm just going to say same thing as the Pistons, where maybe it's a little bit too early, but you see the foundation for a future championship, no doubt. Indiana Pacers, the draft lottery is their championship. Any team that doesn't make the playoffs, that's definitely the case. Definitely the case. LA Clippers, depth is cool, but trustworthy star durability is even better. Yes, I get that. I don't think the Clippers are the only team with injury concerns, and I think having that depth actually, like, in a way, a lot of teams struggle with injuries. A lot of teams struggle with injuries that do not have the Clippers' depth. So, if anything, it's like, yeah, maybe Kawhi misses a lot of time. Maybe Paul George misses some time. Maybe John Wall does. But you have plenty of other really solid players that proved themselves last year to kind of fill that void for the time being. So, if everybody goes down, that's one thing. But one player here or there, that depth becomes even more important. We got the Lakers. Championships aren't won by overloading your roster with non-wings. I mean, they got LeBron James, Anthony Davis. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. I mean, I don't think that team is built great around LeBron, Anthony Davis. Like Russell, he's just not a good fit. He's just not a good fit. But I don't know, man. Like the Lakers, they're only 2 years out from a championship. So I guess it's at 3 years at this point. Yeah, with Warriors, Bucks. Damn, we're going on 3 years out at this point, man. But yeah. All right. Next, moving on. Memphis Grizzlies. The Memphis Grizzlies look at the rest of the Western Conference and still decided they could use fewer per minutes given. So is this a compliment? I don't know what that word is. You're gosh dang right. After finishing with the NBA second best record and with Jaren Jackson starting to miss, Tyus Jones is back, but D'Anthony and Kyle are gone, both ranked top 7 minutes played. Aren't going anywhere. So what are they saying here exactly? That they play too many minutes? Bro, that team is young, man. Like, they can handle it. Okay, Miami Heat. They are worse than last year. I think they're worse in the sense that, the big talking point is, they don't have PJ Tucker anymore. PJ Tucker's not the end-all, be-all. Like, he's a good player. I mean, he's like 97 now, and I like what he brings to a team. They can replace that by the trade deadline. That's not going to be that big a deal. And also, Duncan Robinson's looked pretty solid at times in the preseason and everything. So even him just coming back and just being a better player is going to make them better in that sense. And, Tyler Hero, he was 6th man of the year. Who knows what type of jump he takes this season. It's like, yes, they lost PJ Tucker. Very replaceable, though. Like, there will be players to go out and get. I don't think it's a case. I mean, yes, on paper, I guess they're worse. I think the issue is that they didn't try to get better. I think that's the issue. Milwaukee Bucks, their depth is confusing. It is. It definitely is. But when you have Giannis and Chris Middleton, you're good to go. Just Middleton's got to get healthy. He's going to miss the first few weeks of the season. Maybe that additional rest will help him, prolong into the playoffs. T-Wolves, what if this doesn't work? Then they have a really great potential superstar Anthony Edwards to build around. Cat's very tradable. A lot of teams would want Cat. I think Rudy Gobert, if you had to trade him, I think he's tradable, not to the haul that they gave up, so you're kind of taking the risk there. But there is ways to reset, and having a player like Ant-Man makes that a lot easier. Pelicans, let's see this group play a season together at something resembling full strength, shall we? Yeah, you got to stay healthy to win championships. I agree with that. New York Knicks, their ceiling is the middle. I do think this team's a one player away, or at least one player breakout away. So maybe not necessarily, you know, signing a big name free agent next offseason or something, but maybe Quentin Grimes or Obi Toppin taking that next step. Maybe they trade Julius Randle and Obi takes that step. I'm not really sure. But yeah, people call them the mid three. I think it's a funny joke, but at the same time, I think the Knicks are more than just, you know, Jalen and RJ. And I guess Julius in that case. There's a lot of potential for other players to break out and really help them out. OKC Thunder, Sam Presti, LaserBeamEyes.jpg. Yeah, we all know they're going for Victor. We got the Orlando Magic. Guard play matters. Yes, they have a lot of great guards. I think their thing is that they need to decide who those guards are going to be, give them the reins to the team, and then you find more role player-esque guards. I just feel like maybe when you have too much guys that think they could be the guy, that leads to chemistry issues. But the Magic, watch out for them this season, man. They could be something. Not champions, but they could be something. 76ers, the what-ifs are overwhelming. Yeah, the 76ers are definitely going to be an eye test team very early on. You're going to look at how healthy and in shape James Harden looks. You're going to look at Tobias Harris's play and see if he can kind of build upon what I thought was a decent season last year. You're going to look at Joel Embiid and just kind of see if he's more motivated than ever, you know, winding an MVP and championship. Tyrese Maxey looks like he'd be most improved player. So a lot of what ifs, but that's any team going into a season. 76ers are on top of my list of favorites to come out of the Eastern Conference. Phoenix Suns, their soul seems broken. Yeah. I think another issue with that too is that, you know, winning fixes everything. They won 64 games last year. That's a hard mark to live up to. So if they finish under that, are they going to look at that as like a failure? You know, like, are they going to lose a few more games and then tensions are going to be kind of high? But once again, they were a 64 win team. So if they can come together, they'll be all right. But it's going to take a lot of soul searching, man. Portland Trailblazers. This movie is just a sequel with different supporting cast members. Yeah, we talk like some Hocus Pocus 2 or something like that, man. I'm excited to see Damian Lillard come back. Do I think this team is built to win a championship? Not really. I don't think they're there yet. Or if ever. I just hope Dame can get a ring, but it's going to take a lot. It's going to take a lot. Sacramento Kings, you don't get a participation trophy for making the play-in tournament. Ooh, that's kind of a roast right there. Do I think this team's win the championship? No, I don't. But I do think the Kings could be solid. De'Aaron Fox was proving a lot of things to end the season. Sabonis is still an all-star. Keegan Murray could be rookie of the year. So we'll see. We'll see with the Kings. San Antonio Spurs, the tank is on. Yes. Toronto Raptors, half-court offense matters too. Yes, it does, but I do think, you know, when you are a positionless basketball type of team, I think when you have the explosiveness of guys like Scotty Barnes, or you have the skill set of a Pascal Siakam, while you do want to be able to run that half court set, I think being able to get up and down the court, you know, create mismatches, also is important too. I think more so than ever. So yeah, it is a good healthy mix of both. It's going to be a job of a vet like Fred VanVleet to make sure that half court offense is ran correctly, and in a way that leads to winning games, and hopefully a championship if you're a Raptors fan. Utah Jazz tanking. Washington Wizards, mediocrity doesn't win championships. I do like Bradley Beal. This Wizards team, I don't think they're as good as they could be. I don't know. I mean, I'm not a big fan of the makeup of the Wizards. I'm just not. Sorry, Wizard fans. I think there's room for improvement there. So we'll see in time what happens. But that is all we have for this video. What do you guys think of all these reasons? Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you all so much for watching, and peace out, my friends.